19th April 1975 had witnessed an impeccable morning at Kapustina Space Launch Center, Soviet Russia, when all the scientists could acknowledge every breath they were taking. The most awaited task of their times was to commence. In 3, 2, 1, and boom! There goes an explosion, a fire, and a huge cloud of smoke. Then up goes the rocket, piercing the atmosphere and straight into the space. There were cheers, there was clapping and cries of joy, for the mission was successful with the launch of the first ever Indian satellite, the Aryabhatta. Accompanying that, there were also appreciations of the Prime Minister and happy victorious slogans by the people of India. Behind the reminiscence of this extraordinary event lies a legend, the man who is famously known as the Satellite Man of India. We Prakashites had a golden opportunity to meet and interact with this dynamic personality of a man, Professor Udupi Ramchandra Rao.
Today, the 10th of March, we are celebrating the birth anniversary of Professor U.R.Rao. Dr. U.R.Rao was born on March 10, 1932 in Admar village in South Kannada district in Karnataka. His parents were Lakshmi Narayana Acharya and Krishnaveni Amma. Professor Rao had completed his primary education in Adamaru and his secondary education from Christian High School in Udupi. He had completed his graduation, BSc from Government Arts and Science College, Anantapur, and MSc from Banaras Hindu University. Later on, Professor Rao had pursued his PhD at Physical Research Laboratory, Ahmedabad, under the guidance of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, the founder of Indian Space Program. Professor Rao had become the chairman of Space Commission in the Department of Space under the Government of India. And he was also the chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, from 1984 to 1994.
Indian Scientific Satellite Project was initiated in Bengaluru. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai was in a great dilemma as to whom should this prestigious project be entrusted. He had examined the profiles of many young scientists. Amongst all of them, Professor U.R.Rao had grabbed all his attention straight away. Professor U.R.Rao's dedication for work at the Physical Research Laboratory was not unnoticed by Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. He immediately understood Professor U.R.Rao was not just the right choice, but the only choice to handle the satellite project. So, Professor Rao made a schedule to inspect the pros and the cons of this project. Unlike the Americans and the Russians, he did not want to send people into the space and take a risk. It was time for India to build our own satellites. So, in 1975, U.R.Rao became the director of the ISRO Satellite Center, Bengaluru, and under his supervision, India sent its first satellite, Aryabhatta, into the space. That's how Professor U.R.Rao placed a tricolor in the starry sky and made Indians proud.
I started my career sometime in 72 as an integral part of space, even though before that I was doing a lot of space work with Dr. Sarabhai, and started with the first satellite, and the whole satellite program started in Bangalore in these jets. If you see since then, for example, the application to communications. Today, almost 60% of our communications is through the satellites. And obviously, the geostationary satellites are the best means of providing communication. Today, we have emergency communication, you have the computer networking, you have the NICnet, which essentially provides the networking to between the district headquarters, the state capitals, and the center of data transmissions.
Professor Rao has been a member, chairman and director at various science and technology organizations and has taken up roles like that of a chairman of the UN Committee on Peaceful Uses of Outer Space and the vice president of the International Astronautical Federation. He had undertaken the responsibility for the establishment of satellite technology in India in 1972. Dr. Rao has guided the Indian government in various capacities as a part of the National Security Advisory Board. Professor U.R.Rao has tirelessly promoted the use of space technology for broadcasting, education, meteorology, remote sensing, and disaster warning. The U.R.Rao Satellite Center, URSC, formerly ISRO Satellite Center, has the distinction of building more than 100 satellites for various applications like communication, navigation, space science, interplanetary explorations, etc. Professor Rao had published over 350 scientific and technical papers and had also authored many books. He had been awarded Honorary Doctor of Science degrees by over 25 foreign universities. Dr. Rao was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 1976 and the Padma Vibhushan in 2017 for his contribution to Indian space technology. Professor U.R.Rao had passed away on 24 July 2017. One most important message that he had conveyed to the youth was, "Dare to dream." This is the man who thrived for the real definition of development and research in the fields of science, space, and technology. This is the man we have to cherish in our lives forever, for he is the one who elevated India on the world map.